And we're back in our episode of NBA 2K14. Earlier this episode, the last episode earlier, as the Knicks getting dominated over the Brooklyn Nets in a huge dominated margin win as a 29-point margin. Paul Pierce got 16 points, Jason Terry got 14, and then Carmelo Anthony got 31, J.R. Smith got 23. What a huge dominated for the New York Knicks as they take down the Chicago Bulls. And the next game on their hands were off the Chicago Illinois here in the United Center. But check out the presentation is ready to go, and yep, it is time. So next game we're off the United Center in Chicago. We got the two of the Eastern Conference rivals featuring LeBron James and Dwayne Wade of the Miami Heat take on Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah of the Chicago Bulls. Well, that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy the video here at United Center in Chicago. Anyways, we are sending over to Kevin Harlan here at United Center in Chicago for a marquee matchup here at the Windy City. Anyways, let's get started. Enjoy the video. Here we go.
Welcome to NBA basketball. This is 2K Sports bringing it to you live. A Thursday night broadcast of the NBA. It's the Miami Heat facing off against the Chicago Bulls. And that's it for us in the studio. To call all the action, let's go out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll see you again at halftime.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi everyone, Kevin Harlan joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr with our sideline reporter Doris Burke. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. One of the top caliber players we'll be watching, Luol Deng.
Yeah, Deng is so dependable at both ends of the floor, Kevin. He's about 6'9", long arms, good athleticism, and he just stays after you. He can really guard because he anticipates well and he understands what the offensive player is trying to do.
That's exactly right, Steve. He's an excellent defender. Nothing flashy. Offensively, he's solid as well. A good jump shooter who can catch and shoot or even dribble into the smooth pull-up.
The Bulls are enjoying this break from the road. The Heat beat them last time when these two teams met down in South Florida.
It was not a very inspired performance for them, particularly defensively. I thought they gave the hostile crowd a lot to cheer about, frankly.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jumpers, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was right through the roof, and you can't win when that's the case. People have talked about the defensive renaissance in Chicago as a big part of their turnaround, and that's accurate. Bibbs has done wonders for this team defensively, but another aspect is that they've had one of the deepest benches in the league the past few years, too.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
And it's blocked by Deng. We're about 1 minute into the first. Outside Rose for the three. And again, it's the Bulls from deep. Back to what you said, Clark, about Chicago. It is a credit to them that they've been able to constantly add or draft talent that is ready to step in for them, and Steve contribute off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You think about Taj Gibson, a late first-round pick. Jimmy Butler last year really emerged as one of the best young players in the league. Great story. So terrific job by the Bulls front office in figuring out which player to take later in the first round.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
LeBron outside. Three-pointer. That falls. Nice speed that time from Dwayne Wade. LeBron's got himself on the board with three there.
And as he has gained more experience in the league, Wade has taught himself to rely a bit more on his jump shot, a little less on attacking the rim, but still, you see his confidence really lies in his ability to attack the lane.
The Heat have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Deng against LeBron. Dwayne Wade on the wing. And again, Miami with the triple. And Wade, still a player who thrives on getting in the lane, Clark, and for his career, under 30% from long range.
Yeah, you know, his jump shot is more of a mid-range weapon, quite honestly. He loves the bank shot, loves the floaters, and is always looking to get somebody in the air with that pump fake. Usually, more times than not, guys bite and he gets free throw.
He gets to the line, you're right. And here's Wade following the three from Butler. And here's LeBron outside. And again, Miami with the triple.
Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Now here's Rose, averaging 28 points a game. Tremendous stuff from a guy Clark we think more of for his back.
Yeah, but he's got tremendous leaping ability and a surplus supply, too.
Well, that's a great aggressive move and 2 big points, too.
Here's Wade. The Bulls getting the bucket. Bob. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
Boy, has there been any defense played yet in this game?
Nope, this game has been all about rapid-fire offense early.
Daniel with the bucket.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having their way down low.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against the defense that didn't really put up much resistance. Guys, that's simple. Superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they want. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Now here's LeBron. In the game against Detroit, very impressive. Cole's shot is good.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. That's 4 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been three-pointers.
The stupendous finish in traffic. Gibson's got 5.
It seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. It's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
Boy, he's really been rolling now from three-point range. What an opening quarter for him.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. After LeBron James hitting the free, he was all alone on that one.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Allen outside. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Allen's got his first 3 points of the game.
Defensively, they're really scattered right now, giving up so many open looks from the three-point line.
Yeah, they are splashing them. Their last 3 buckets all come up behind the arc.
There's, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go Clark right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. LeBron kicks to Cole. Good ball movement here by Miami. And Allen hits again from deep. Allen's got 6.
That's now a dozen straight points coming off wide open three-pointers.
You know what it looks like to me out there, guys? I mean, it looks like All-Star Weekend out there. We know how much defense is played. There's actually defense during the All-Star Weekend, no D.
It's back to Battier. Oh, he hits. Buzzer beater!
Boy, ends the quarter with a dead-eye 3 as the buzzer sounds.
They had that set up, I think, Steve, and he timed it perfectly.
It's all tied in Chicago. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break.
Sunday, December 8th, Paul George and the Indiana Pacers take on Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Make sure to catch it.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
And how about the defense, guys? They have really controlled the lane with their shot blocking.
Yeah, excellent defense there. Every shot has either been altered or rejected.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor for Miami, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. Shane Battier is out there with Allen, and it's Bosh at the 5, roaming the paint. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, this summer the Bulls broke ground on a new 60,000 square foot practice facility situated just east of the United Center. Starting next season, it will replace the 12-year-old Berto Center, a half hour away in Deerfield, Illinois. The Bulls coming back downtown and doing it in style, in a state-of-the-art building with all the amenities, including a rooftop green terrace. Kevin?
Pretty impressive, Doris. Thanks.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Daniel with the box.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that pocket pass, and he did it well. You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The big three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. And here are some big men who, when they get it in tight, are as close to a sure thing as we've got. Here are the top field goal percentage leaders among NBA centers and power forwards. Number 1 is Joakim Noah.
Boy, he's just a dominant presence in the low post. He gets so many good looks because he works so hard to get into good position down low before he actually catches the ball.
And I like the way his game is adaptable based on what the defense is showing. I mean, he'll change it up from game to game as long as he's still able to get high percentage shots.
Here's Rose, and Allen with the block. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
And let's take a look now at some of Chris Bosh's numbers. He has been filling up the stat sheet for the last month. First in free throw shooting, and with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, he's done a nice job of creating good looks for himself.
Yeah, his focus from the line has been special, and that's one reason, Steve, he's at the top of the list in free throw shooting percentage, because his focus is on target, and he doesn't stray from that. His routine is excellent.
And Clark, as you were saying, the trio of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh all have options in their contracts to become free agents in 2014 if they choose to. And Steve, you have to think that at least one or two of them might exercise that right.
Well, you know LeBron will, because he's the most underpaid athlete probably in the history of sports. He's worth 10 times what he makes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Miami does here the next couple of years with their roster.
Noah with it, now guarded by Anderson. Rocket 6. Here's Butler. Oh, that's blocked. The drive by LeBron. Stolen by Boozer. And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. Right side, Butler. He kicks to Boozer. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And finished off by LeBron. And a closer look here at the hustle stand. For the Heat.
Boy, great hustle defensively through 2 quarters of play, contesting everything, starting to rack up those block shots, guys.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Wade seems to be slowing down just a touch, and the difficulty as you get older when you're not a great jump shooter, which Wade is not, is that defenses will back off you, and that's the big challenge now for Dwayne Wade, adjusting to that newer style of defense that he's going to be looking at. And again, a few more points added to the lead. They might be ready to pull away here.
I wouldn't be surprised, Steve, as well as they've got it working right now, that could be the case.
A different look for Miami. Ray Allen is checked in for Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. And a little over 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Rose dishes to Booster. And they get it, and it's blocked. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, despite what you might have heard from the talking heads, it was another great season for D. Wade. Last season, leading all shooting guards in player efficiency rating. A natural slasher, he's adjusted brilliantly to playing without the ball in his hands. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, quote, "The evolution of his game has been stark in terms of added weapons and dimensions over the years. His development in that post-up game has allowed that to happen. His movement and cutting off the ball tripled what it used to be. That took an understanding and an IQ of how to get involved when the ball wasn't in his hands." Guys, the great ones always find a way.
They definitely do. Thanks, Doris. And Steve, you go back to the strong output for Dwayne Wade last season for the 4th time. In his career, he averaged over 20 points and 5 rebounds and 5 assists a game. One of only 4 players in the league last season to hit that mark.
And Kevin, he led all shooting guards in player efficiency rating for the 5th consecutive season. Some might argue, but the numbers speak truth. He's the best shooting guard in the game.
Heinrich kicks to Rose. He feeds it to Gibson. Back to Rose. Last outing for Chicago. They won that game against New Orleans.
Well, they own the boards at both ends of the floor in that game. I thought that was what won it for them more than anything else.
Well, that was the one area they knew they could exploit in the matchup, and boy, did they ever exploit it.
And Miami making a change here.
Yeah, he's an exciting player, Kevin, with outstanding speed, and I love his aggressive attitude. He will explode when he gets into the open court. And he does so much for his team's tempo and pace when he's on the court.
And let's not leave out another branding mark of his status as much in the clutch. When the big shot's needed to win a ball game, everybody in the building knows he's going to take it. Doesn't make any difference, though. He still finds a way to knock it down.
This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And you know, last game, guys, he shot very well from the stripe. Made a nice contribution there.
Yeah, he sure did. Turned in a really nice performance.
Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
Here's Bosch. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Detroit.
He got some huge points from the foul line, too, Kevin. He was very aggressive, generating contact and drawing fouls.
Here's Rose. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. It's the Heat. They lead by 18. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. Welcome, folks. It's halftime, and we got a blowout in the Windy City. Miami up on top against Chicago. They're off to a hot start this season. They'd like to continue that hot streak in this game. For LeBron, it's been way too easy against Chicago. He's got 13 points and is up to his usual tricks, dropping a lot of dimes all over the court. On the other side, the Bulls haven't been terrific. They've been getting roundly outplayed up to this point, and they'll need a bounce-back effort to make up for it in the second half. Derrick Rose is their leading scorer. He's up to 9 points and some nice plays offensively, getting the assists going. And around the association we go, scores and stories from around the league. New York came away with a win against the Nets in Brooklyn. Ended up running away with it. Excellent game from them. And their top scorer was Carmelo Anthony. And the other game that finished up today, at FedEx Forum, the Grizzlies ended up losing to the Clippers. They'll walk away thinking they could have had this one. Michael Connolly was their leading scorer. Now let's head back out to the start of the second half. Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, take it away.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint. And one of the shores of Lake Michigan, the lights of the great city of Chicago, as we return.
You know, part of being a championship team is having the talent first and foremost, but then managing the minutes of that talent. The Heat, I thought, did a nice job monitoring the minutes of the big three throughout the season and playoffs last year.
Up front, Bruiser and Noah. On the wings, Butler and Dang. And it's Rose in at the point. So that's who Tom Thibodeau starts the second half with. As you said, Clark, the big three in their prime, but really, you want them to just get their work in during the season, not exhaust themselves before they make it to the playoffs.
I thought, Kevin, along those lines, I thought by the end of last season, Miami was exhausted. And once you try to win a third title in a row, the emotional fatigue and exhaustion really becomes a factor. So this is going to be interesting to watch all year.
And their solid play in the paint continues, guys.
Well, that's been the focus, Clark, as we've watched. I mean, they've created one chance after another inside.
No one near him. And it's blocked by Bosh. Dwayne Wade on the wing. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. And that's 13 points for Dwayne Wade. Bulls trail by 20.
Hey, last season Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league, but what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes, and arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond.
Oh, look out! Wow. It's not possible what we just said. Clark, is that possible?
It's probable, but it is possible, partner.
It's possible. Not probable. It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark. And a moment to check out Derrick Rose here. He's been just lighting it up recently. His stats speak for themselves. Second in scoring, 10th in rebounding, and he's also blocked enough shots to put him in the top 15 in that important defensive category.
And Steve, you look at that scoring average. I mean, he's been fantastic. Absolutely one of the most dangerous, lethal scorers in the NBA right now.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play. That's going to send LeBron James to the line. They get Luol Deng.
Well, I tell you what, you consider all the injuries the Bulls had last year, and you look at the 34-18 mark against the Eastern Conference, and it's absolutely remarkable considering what they had to go through personnel-wise.
Let's take a moment now to check out the top scorers around the league. Fourth, LeBron James. And, of course, Derrick Rose.
Anytime these two guys are on the floor at the same time, guys, you're just waiting for one of them to go off, if not both of them.
And back to the Bulls in the East. It wasn't just one guy who stepped in the shoes of Rose or the departed Ashik. It was a group effort.
You know, you looked at the roster last year, you kind of scratch your head, you go, how is this team going to get to the second round without Derrick Rose? But they did it with a group of role players, with a front line that was tough and nasty and rebounded well, and with great coaching, too.
And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Deflects the pass. Chalmers pass to Haslam. Looks for Bosh. Gets it to him. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Bosh has got 6 points.
Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And not to be overlooked about Luol Deng. He's one of the elite perimeter defenders in the NBA. He's got tremendous size and length, lateral quickness, and boy, does he play with tremendous effort and focus night in and night out. He's one of my favorite guys to watch work.
Greg Oden, he's checked in for the Heat. Nattier comes in for LeBron. Bulls trail by 21. Outside Teague. And he lays it straight in. You talk about Bang's effort and toughness. Easy to see why he's a favorite of Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, he guts it out. He plays through pain. That hamstring toward ligaments in his wrist. Remember last year in the playoffs, he had the issue with the spinal tap. Just such a tough player and perfect fit for the Bulls. He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. On the pass to Butler. Back to Teague. Kicks it to Muhammad. From down in the low post, it goes. Muhammad's got 6 points. Now it appears an injury out on the floor, and that does not look like any fun.
Yeah, Clark, that did not look good. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it's nothing too serious.
Boy, you can't help but feel for him. I mean, one moment you're doing what you do best, and the next, the situation's really out of your hands. I really hope he's okay.
That's good. Granado's got his first basket.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
And it's blocked by Vernado.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Clark. The rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
Teague kicks to Rose. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, the Bulls battled in last year's postseason. Got a Game 7 win in Brooklyn to sneak out of round 1 in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round 2.
Dishes to Boozer. And some thunder on the finish.
Not exactly the way the D would have drawn that one.
And when you got the space, you might as well throw it down. That's what I always used to do.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Brago, he's checked in for Bosch. LeBron comes in for Shane Battier. And it's James Jones in for Norris Cole. And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time. And they had questions constantly being asked if he would return. But the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
You know, they missed him, though, Kevin, and desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal Game 1 in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat Miami.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Miami. Back to Dan. Now the feed to Gibson. And that one's good. Gibson's got 9. Haslem with it. LeBron James on the wing. With 1 on the clock. Oh, and the buzzer.
And an ideal finish to the quarter for them as he drains it at the buzzer.
Boy, I like the fact he didn't rush it at all. Fantastic shot.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Heat lead by 19. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
Coming up Tuesday, December 10th, LeBron James and the Miami Heat go up against Paul George and the Indiana Pacers. Don't miss it.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. And let's Let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Heat.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
And they continue to knock down the long-range three-point shot as well.
And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. At the forward spots, James and Haslam. Chalmers is out there with James Jones, and it's Anderson in at the 5. Boozer a screen on Chalmers. Heinrich with it, now guarded by Mario Chalmers, and Heinrich picks it to go.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
Boy, that mid-range jumper is a beautiful thing to have in your bag, and they've had it going today.
Yeah, but look down at the other end of the court. The same has not held true.
Stolen by Anderson. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Anderson with the ball, and that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Chalmers has got 5 assists tonight.
Well, they're winning the speed game, guys, getting out in transition.
Boy, I like the energy they play with offensively, and in the open court, tremendous flow.
Heinrich inside the three-point line. Again, Chicago. Timeout called the Heat.
A bit of an odd year for Kirk Heinrich, who normally is a very efficient player, but started off last season shooting way below his career norms from the floor. Ran the team pretty well, but it was kind of strange to see him shoot so poorly.
A different look for Miami. Wash comes in for Udonis Haslem. And Dwayne Wade is subbed in for James Jones.
And he will take the ball right into the teeth of the defense.
And going back to Heinrich, more of a jump shooter offensively. Sometimes that shot can come and, of course, as you know, go.
Yeah, he's not the scorer that he once was in his younger days, but the main attribute for Heinrich is his defense. Just an incredible defender, great footwork, fundamentals, anticipation, and much stronger than he looks. He can guard ones and twos.
LeBron dishes to Anderson. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Heat lead by 21.
Seems like they're on their heels every time defensively because the ball continues to go into the post.
Well, if they don't pick up the aggression, things are only going to get worse. You know, it looks like despite the injury he's got, he's still able to deliver, and that's what he's showing us right now.
And it's Wade penetrating. And counts the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
He is so creative, Kevin. That's what I love about watching him. As good as anybody in the league at breaking down a defender one-on-one.
And that's not all there is to say about him, Steve. I mean, he also is a master of the pick and roll. Get the ball in his hands and set a screen for him, and there will be an easy bucket after.
From deep, Rose, and again it's the Bulls from deep.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, it's 3 of the last 5 makes having been behind the three-point line, so you got to make some adjustments defensively.
And it's blocked. Here's Butler, passes it to Deck. Here's Noah. No good. Nice D from Chalmers. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Wade kicks to LeBron. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. And that's now 29 points for LeBron. Chicago calls timeout.
The Heat marched their way to the best record in the league last season, 66-16, and the ability to win on the road, a big part of that league best record.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Chris Anderson. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here, and we're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Here's Rose. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Rose has got 7 points here in this quarter. And back to the Heat in their play on the road. 29 wins for them as the visiting side, and that was in another category compared to every other team in the league. Steve, nobody else really even came close.
No, nobody did. And I'll tell you what, when they went on their huge winning streak, it wasn't like they did it all at home. In fact, 13 of those 27 games during their winning streak were on the road. And that's not easy to do.
Hey, people had no idea, guys, how the Bulls were going to do last season dealing with the Rose injury, but they showed very quickly that they're going to be a team in the hunt, and they were still going to be hard to beat at home.
And there's another one for the Heat.
And with that basket, you'd have to think this lead is safe.
Well, if not 100% safe, certainly 95%.
That good. Rose has got 18 points now here in the second half. And back to the Bulls at the United Center that Clark was just mentioning, 24-17 here in this building a year ago. And even though, Steve, they didn't have a lot of high-flying highlights here, they knew how to close out games.
Well, they defend, and that's the main thing. If you want to finish and close out games, you have to be able to defend and rebound. And that's what Tom Thibodeau's teams are always all about, and this year is no exception.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Puts it up. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
He's flipped the script here in this half, shooting a much higher percentage from the field.
LeBron kicks to Bosh. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. And it's 8 points for Chris Bosh.
Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
And slam dunk by Butler.
Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
And no messing around in the finish, huh? He powers it through.
Sure didn't waste any time there.
I'll tell you what, that is going to be an alley-oop we'll see on the highlight reel the next few days.
Fast break, here comes Chicago. And finished off by Rose.
This run probably just a case of too little too late.
But at least they're still going after it and playing hard. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel a while ago.
The shot's good from LeBron.
And a terrific run to really put this ball game away.
And now let's see how many more points they can throw up there before the horn sounds.
And it's Rose penetrating, rejected by Haslam. LeBron left side. Lets it go with the 3. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
And this game is finally getting away from them.
Yep, it has gotten away. There's not really anything they can do now.
Outside Rose. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Rose has got 33.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
LeBron shot is off.
Well, as far as jump shots go, that's as high percentage as it gets.
I'm not sure how that didn't go down.
And so Miami takes this. Won by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.
So now Miami Heat are now on a roll with 10 in a row. And you see Tristan Thompson's gonna everyone heal. As you can see, everyone's gonna ready to heal. And Vince Carter is ready to preparing for return to the NBA as he heal with a re-injury. JJ Hickson will be out for 1 or 2 weeks due to the lower back strain. Wow, another Nuggets injury report. Reggie Jackson's everyone healing now. As you can see, the Miami Heat getting a job and dominate the Chicago Bulls by 16, 111 to 95. As Derrick Rose got 33 points, LeBron James got 33 and 9, while Dwayne Wade got 25-11. What a huge victory for the Miami Heat. And now next game, other hand off to December 6th. There's no flex game here as we got a matchup here all the way to the next game. So we got the Sixers, Bobcats, Bucks, Wizards, Warriors, Rockets, Thunder, Pelicans, Raptors, Suns. We got the Jazz, Blazers, Lakers, Kings, Cavaliers, Hawks, and we got our main game of the day. Game of the day. We're heading to TD Garden in Boston, not Houston. Instead, no flex games. Unfortunately, we're not going to be flex until we'll meet on December 13th. As of JaVale McGee and the Denver Nuggets take on Rajon Rondo of the Boston Celtics. It's going to be a good matchup. So let's skip it away here. It's gonna check out Simulate right here. Sixers and the Bobcats, and the Bobcats win. And 17 and 10 by Al Jefferson. Walker got 17. Kid Yorkers got 50 and 14. Noel got 22. Bucks and the Wizards, and the Wizards win. Almost triple-double by John Wall. Got 33 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. Bradley Beal got 18. Brandon Knight got 31. OJ Mayo got 20 and 5. Pistons, Warriors and the Rockets, and Rockets win. Dwight Howard got 31 and 8. Len got 19 and 10. And only Harden's got 13 points. And Curry only has 19. Thunder and the Pelicans. It is Thunder win. 19 points for Eric Gordon. 18 and 9 for Anthony Davis. And Jrue Holiday got 18. Russell Westbrook got 42 points. And Kevin Durant scores 37 points. Another combination with 79-point combined. Another huge dominate for OKC. Raptors and the Suns, and Raptors win. Jaron Green got 25. Kyle Lowry got 26 and 12. Rudy Gay got 25 and 13. Jazz and the Blazers, and Blazers win. Damian Lillard so close to triple-double with 28, 10, and 9. Nicholas Batum got 23 and 10. LaMarcus Aldridge got 22. Burke got 21, and Jefferson got 20. Lakers take on the winless Kings, and the Lakers continuing win and dominate the Kings. Look at the fourth quarter. Only Kings are scoring 9 points. DeMarcus Cousins got 17 points, 11. Isaiah Thomas got 17. Paul Gasol got 27, 11, and 7 assists. And Kobe Bryant got 25 and 10. So now, finally, we're skipping the last game with the Cavaliers Hawks, and the Hawks are now win 5 in a row. Halofer got 26 and 13, Kyle Korver got 19, Millsap got 18, and Warriors got 20 points. So on a huge dominating for this Cleveland team. So let's check out some rotations now. The injuries are now returning to Vince Carter. I'm gonna replace with this guy. He's gonna get her out of here to replace with Ledo or Blair. Just gonna skip with Ledo. We're gonna get replacement here. And let's replace with Delonte West. Gonna prepare. I'm gonna get Monte Ellis going down to 32 minutes while Sean Merritt's gonna use 35 points. Dylan Bears got 30 and need to get hurry in to get Vince Carter re-healed. And Brandon White's gonna get 15 now. We're gonna preparing after that. You know what? We're gonna get Samuel Dallenberg comes in for his replacement as we need to wait. And we'll keep it right here, 20 minutes here. So we're gonna use 19 minutes now. So, unfortunately, Denver Nuggets announced sadly because JJ Hickson will not play today against Boston Celtics because shut down identity due to the lower back strain. Carter now about to return to after spraying wrist as he continues losing skid for the Mavericks. So, next game on our hand, we're heading to TD Garden tomorrow night. We have a one game on Friday night. We have one game on ESPN Friday night. We're heading to Boston. So next game, we're off to Boston, Massachusetts. We got the interconference duo. It's JaVale McGee and Ty Lawson of the Denver Nuggets take on Rajon Rondo. And who's there? Rajon Rondo and Avery Bradley of the Boston Celtics. Well, that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the Day 11 wrap up as the Indiana Pacers beat the Milwaukee Bucks and advances to the second round with Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning shot in the layup in overtime to walk-off Bucks, and the Boston Celtics dominated the Orlando Magic in 5, while the Knicks did have to close out once again like the last year against Sixers. Now this time against the Pistons, as Pistons forced us to extend in game number 6, and Nuggets are now retake 3-2. I'm Andre Kenshin. Say so long for United Center in Chicago as the Miami Heat beat the Chicago Bulls. Now the Heat on the road with 10-game winning streak. This is Andre Kenshin. Say so long from United Center in Chicago, and now we'll see you tomorrow here at TD Garden in Boston for the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics. It's time to say sign up and peace out. Good night, and reminder, we'll see you tomorrow for the Nuggets and the Celtics game. Sign up and peace out. Good night!